Just a little bit of practice, quite a few leaves about. Nobody in my family has actually ever played golf, and it's the same with astronomy. Nobody in my family has been involved in science or astronomy, so I don't know, I've broken a lot of family molds and a lot of things, you know. Yeah, but they've all two very strong passions for me, and between them they take up as much leisure time as I can kind of squeeze in a lot of senses, you know. It's good. There's one of my past buddies. Hello Grizzly, how are you doing? Are you playing?
No.
It's not too cold for you, is it?
It is too cold, trust me.
Come on, you're well covered. Oh. One of the most interesting things was, I mean, there was a comet here about 20 years called Hale-Bopp. I don't know if you heard of it. It was very bright, you could see it very clear in the sky. But when I think I was about 18, in 1973, so you can work it all down, there was a comet that was described, it's going to be the comet of the century, and it was one called Comet Kohoutek. So everybody's looking in the skies for this. With comets, you don't know how big they're going to be when they come near the sun. So hardly anybody ever saw this comet, but I did, with a small pair of binoculars, sheltering the sun, because comets tend to go towards the sun, behind some houses, and I saw this Kohoutek. So it was a big, damp squib, but for me to have actually seen it, so many people didn't see it and almost didn't believe, where is it? Where's this comet of the century? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to, of course, like anybody, if money was limitless, would I have travelled to see the International Space Station off? Yeah, of course I would. But not now. I mean, no, I think if my aspirations now would be to, because I've got the time now that I'm retired, to use as much of that time to pursue the passions that I have, whether it be golf or astronomy or football or music, you know, to as much as I possibly can. Which is kind of slightly selfish. It probably explains why I've never married and I don't have any children, but that's the way I've been. I've done a lot of travelling in my time, as you can see. I'm not a great photographer, but I've taken pictures where I've gone in recent years. So, 3 years ago, in 2015, I was Berry Golf Club's Player of the Year, to which something I'm incredibly proud. Pardon? Unfortunately, some people don't take defeat very well, do they? So, yes, I've not got my name on as many other boards as a lot of people, but that's the one I will point to and say, a crowning glory. It enabled me to make a speech. Morning, ladies. You can applaud if you want. No, you. No. Don't clap on your own. They'll show you the fish. When I was working in Saudi Arabia, I even helped build a golf course on an airbase, just in the sand, playing off a mat that you carried around with you, just something to do to play a form of golf in the desert. What was spectacular about working in a place like Saudi Arabia is at night, driving part way out into the desert, no light pollution whatsoever. And then after a few minutes, your eyes get used to it, and to see the Milky Way as a true, almost like white belt of stars. It's fantastic. Would I want to be born later? I don't know. There are more things if I was younger now that I might see much in the future, but then I will have missed the moon landings and been awestruck by the first steps that man was taking. So I think it's relative to who you are now, how you feel about the time that you live in. I think there's a line from one of my favourite films, Blade Runner, revel in your time, as you say. So this is the time I have now, and I'll try and make the most of what it is.